And today is Tuesday, December 28th, 2021. I have 2 more days to go before my beautiful vacation. And today is the Tuesday, so it's more like a hump day for me. And here's an interesting article by Robert Ray, and this will be my subject for my English daily reading. Robert Ray was the Secretary of Labor during the Clinton administration era, and he was and he still is the professor at Harvard. I think he's a good guy. He's short, but he's a very good guy. He's very knowledgeable. He has tenacity. He has his own opinions. He's not opinionated, but he has a strong opinion on the labor issues. So here's a short article or contribution by Robert Ray. Here we go. The heart of a community, a small business. What the rescue of Dan and White's Central General Store can teach us. I've got a special place near my heart for Dan and White's General Store in Norwich, Vermont. It was there for me during my undergraduate years in college in nearby Hanover, New Hampshire. Often on snowy evenings when I couldn't get supplies elsewhere. Years later, when my parents moved to Vermont for their retirement, Dan and Whit's was there for them too. Like many places around the country, Vermont has been struggling with finding enough workers to fill jobs. Finding enough workers to fill jobs. But unlike most urban centers, where the obvious answer is to pay workers more, rural towns can't always count on higher wages to elicit more job applicants because populations are thin and often declining. Elicit more job applicants because populations are thin and even often declining. Populations are thin. And unlike profitable national retail chains, mom and pop businesses are small businesses. Mom and pop businesses can't just absorb higher labor costs, and they can't simply pass them on to customers in higher prices because small town customers might not have the ability to pay. So when Dan and Whit's owner Dan Fraser recently put up a help wanted sign, the inhabitants of Norwich knew it was bad news. I never met the younger Dan, but I'm sure I met his grandfather, who passed the store on to his father, who passed it on to Dan. The younger Dan. I've never met the younger Dan. However, 3 generations, Dan would have to close the place down if he didn't get help. So what was he to do? I heard the rest of the story on the radio. It turned out that Dan didn't need to do anything. Word went out. Soon, Soon, Dan's customers began applying for the jobs. Rich Farrell, a local doctor, took on a shift at the register. A retired finance director applied for the deli counter. A nurse, a deli counter, deli counter, deli counter, the deli counter, the deli counter, the deli counter, the deli counter. A nurse, a teacher, a psychology professor, a therapist, a school principal. Nearly 24 customers have stepped up to stock shelves, do the inventory, and clean up the place so that Dan and Witt's can remain open. Remain open, remain open, remain open. Do the inventory and clean up the place. Clean up the place, clean up the place, clean up the place. Took the deli counter, took the deli counter. Word went out, word went out. Mom and pop business, mom and pop businesses. Do the inventory, clean up the place. Do the inventory, clean up the place. Took the deli counter, stepped up. Word went out, word went out. Elicit more jobs applicants. Elicit more job applicants. Elicit more job applicants. Virtually all of these new hires are donating their hourly wages to some of Dan's favorite charities. Remain open, remain open, remain open. I've spent a lot of time over the years examining what happens to communities when important businesses close or abandon them, often because some bean counters back in headquarters, hundreds or thousands of miles away, decide it's not worth the cost of keeping the businesses going where they are. Bean counters, itty nitty knit bits, bean counters. Yeah, small-minded people, closed-minded people, bean counters. Economists often praise capitalism's wondrous efficiencies at moving assets to their highest and best uses. Well, there's something to that, but what's left out of the equation are the social costs of these moves. What's left out of the equation are the social costs of these moves. What's left out of the equation are the social costs of these moves. What's left out of the equation are the social costs of these moves. They can be quite high. They can be quite high. But what's left out of the equation are the social costs of these moves. Friends, my newsletter on power, politics, and the real economy is reader-supported. Both free and paid subscriptions are available. If you'd like to support this work, please consider a paid subscription. Many thanks. When asked why the people of Norwich stepped in to help Dan and Witt's keep going, employee Diane Miller said it was because Dan and Witt's is the heartbeat of this community. The heartbeat of this community is the heart, not heart, but the heartbeat of this community. Others described it as the heart of the town. Okay, same. The heartbeat of this community, the heart of the town, the heart of the town. Yeah, similar but different nuance. The heartbeat of this community, the heart of this town. That's the best quick summary of the social benefits of a place like Dan and Witt's I've ever heard. Communities do have hearts. When businesses and those hearts disappear, more is lost than an economic asset. The community loses a place that allows it to be a community, a place where people meet up, congregate, exchange gossip, and information, barter, learn about common problems, sometimes decide to take action. I remember Dan and Wits as such a place. I can't imagine Norwich found without it. Luckily, it won't have to be. But this isn't just a feel-good story about one country town coming together to save an iconic general store. Iconic general store. Iconic general store. Iconic general store. Coming together. It's not a feel-good story about people coming together about one country town coming together to save an iconic general store. It seems to me there is an important lesson here for all of us, wherever we live. American capitalism is the harshest form of capitalism in all of the world's advanced economies. It takes almost no account of social costs and benefits. What is left out of the equation are the social costs of all this shit. Businesses swoop in, and swoop out wherever and however profits can be maximized and losses minimized. Swoop in, swoop out. Swoop in, swoop out. Swoop in, swoop in, swoop in, swoop in, and swoop out. Businesses swoop in and swoop out wherever and however profits can be maximized and losses minimized. But communities are different. They aren't nearly as footloose as financial capitalism. Footloose. They are built on social capital, which often takes years to accumulate and can be cashed in. Footloose. They aren't nearly as footloose as financial capital. I think people are something to businesses that are the hearts of our communities. Maybe we shouldn't allow big chains or Walmarts to drain our main streets of the commerce they need to survive. Even if Walmart's items are cheaper, the social costs of losing the small businesses that undergird our community are often way higher. Maybe we should donate some of our own time and labor to account for the importance of these core businesses. Maybe those of us who can afford to should buy shares in them to give them an added financial cushion. At the very least, we owe them our patronage, rather than, say, the Waltons or Jeff Bezos. What do you think? I totally agree with you.